I know I told you folks we'd be quiet in the tropics for the next 7 to 10 days, but we were wrong. A piece of energy broke off of Hurricane Julia, and it is now a new tropical storm there in the Bay of Campeche in the western Gulf of Mexico. Watch that satellite again as Hurricane Julia dissipated on the Pacific side, but this piece of energy comes to the north over water and blows up. Isn't that something? Look at that. Crazy how weather develops. Here's the latest on our storm, Tropical Storm Karl. As of 4 p.m. Central Time, Karl was at 19.6 north, 94.4 west, winds of 40 miles per hour. It's moving northwest at 6. It's embedded in high pressure, and that is expected to build westward and push Karl west and then to the south, and it should make landfall along the Mexican coastline. We do have a tropical storm watch from Cabo Rojo down to Puerto Veracruz, with the expectation of tropical storm winds as it makes landfall. Again, it's going to be in weak steering currents, so landfall shouldn't occur until Friday. Now, the good news is the upper level environment isn't too crazy, and as the system nears the coastline, we could actually see some wind shear start to impinge on it, so it doesn't look like it will become a hurricane, but keep an eye out just in case. I gotta say, I'm a little impressed with Karl right now. There's the center of circulation as the sun goes down. The thunderstorm's blowing up right on the right side of the center. So it's not in an ideal environment for strengthening. It is still dealing with wind shear because the anticyclone is displaced, and I'll show you that in a second. But there's obviously good rotation there and a low-level center and a tropical storm force winds, and that's why it's been designated as a new storm. There's that map I was just talking about. Notice right here where I just put that X, that is the center of the high pressure aloft, which is a clockwise upper level flow. And so the clockwise flow is cutting into the center of Karl, which is right where I put that black circle. So if this high pressure were over the center of Karl, it'd be strengthening much quicker than it is right now. Nevertheless, the wind shear is much higher here over the Gulf of Mexico, so as it stays down here, it's got a little bit of an opportunity to strengthen, but again, probably not into a hurricane. Here's the radar, and there's the center on radar showing up right there, so it is definitely organizing as a minimal tropical storm, and rainfall is going to be the biggest threat. Here's some rainfall over Campeche and to the north and east of Veracruz. More heavy rain, and that's going to progress and continue westward as the system moves very slowly over the next few days. The key messages for Tropical Storm Karl from the National Hurricane Center. Number one, as I just mentioned, heavy rainfall. That could produce flash flooding in the Isthmus of Tehuantepec and in the southern Sierra Madre Oriental Mountains and adjacent coastal areas. And we could always have mudslides, especially where it's higher terrain and you have the orographic lift of the rainfall there. Number two, tropical storm conditions possible in the watch area in Mexico starting on Thursday. So again, the earliest wind speed probabilities sometime around, say, Thursday morning. So we're talking 36 hours from now is when you'll start to see tropical storm winds. And again, if it moves south, it could come in at a weird angle to the coastline, and so everybody has to batten down the hatches. There's another look on the satellite. Look at it as the sun goes down. This is the true color satellite. Beautiful. It looks pretty impressive for a minimal tropical storm. Trust me, I've seen a lot worse. I've seen naked swirls get named. So Karl is trying hard there. And again, in these La Nina years late in the season, we could definitely see development. So keep your eye on the Caribbean Sea throughout the rest of October all the way into November, because we are still in the heart of hurricane season after what we saw, especially in Florida with Ian. Nobody wants to take that chance, although it is nice to go from the ice storm, Ian, to Julia, to Karl. Usually we're all the way down to, I don't know, Greek names and Delta Phi hurricane, whatever the heck it is. This time it's more of a normal-paced hurricane season, but still very destructive with Fiona and Ian. Hopefully, Tropical Storm Karl won't be that bad. So, kind of a brief update on Karl, but stay tuned along the Mexican coastline. Karl is expected to not become a hurricane as of right now, and then kind of loop around and make landfall there, kind of dip right into Mexico over the weekend. I'm Mike Naso with the latest on Karl, and I'll talk to you guys next time.